Hello fellow academics and welcome back to Willamere as we are starting into our drought. Our beavers are still working on this last piece right there. It's a little bit too late, unfortunately. I don't think they will finish it before all of that runs out. I'm just hoping the Badwater, they actually did. But this will not stay in there very long. We do have almost 16 days in our drought before the regular water basically comes back, which means we will be a little bit short in terms of power supply. So one of the reasons why I mentioned this is in this episode we're gonna work our way up to this Badwater source and try to make it permanent, meaning that we have continuous power supply even throughout droughts. What are you guys building? All right. Last episode, we also had unlocked the Dynamite. I am going to set this actually to just regular importance. While we're at it, can detonate this, although I don't think it will help us a lot in terms of, gaining more water. Actually, we might. This might actually give us a bit more water. Anyways, so what do we need for our Badwater Dome? We need 100 planks, we got 170, we need 200 gears, we have 60, and we need 100 metal blocks, we have 140. So all we need is gears, and we had this gear workshop here, and last episode we also built that second gear workshop over there. So they do use up planks, that's just something for us to keep in mind. In the meantime, I think they will be producing all the gears that we need for our dome. So let's see how far we can get with this. All right. In addition to all of this, so right now for the one last thing actually, for the Badwater Dome, we do need 2000 science. We have put in the observatory and they are producing a ton of science. And at the end of last episode, raised the work hours to 24, just in the hopes they would wrap this part up. Let's actually very quickly just open this, close this, now that it's overflowing. Hoping that, yep, this will top it off, because there will be water coming in from the back here. So I think that will do us quite good. Anyways. We had also talked about keeping an eye on our food supply. So in terms of carrots, I think we're overall okay. Our potato resource is a little bit short. So we do not actually have any raw potatoes for our grill to do a good job of, making potatoes, grilled potatoes. So let's go ahead and plant a few more in here. And then we also want to look into further sources for food. So in the regular crops, we only have wheat left. Wheat will get turned into bread, and who doesn't like a good loaf of bread? So that is something for us to consider, like building and using. We could do it over here. Although I'm not entirely sure if that should be our way to go. Instead of the bread, what we could do otherwise would actually go into our aquatic crops. So we do have spatterdock that we can plant, as well as cattail. So some of them, the spatterdock can actually be grilled in a grill. So that could be an option. But more importantly, we had talked about this last time, is we want, maybe not last time, but probably the time before, we wanted to plant some maples. So I am going to now permanently delete these trees because they wouldn't be chopped down, because for whatever reason I decided to remove the planting, but also remove the chopping down request. So yeah, we're gonna release these, and this gatherer up there will actually be able to pick up the did I say maples? I meant chestnuts. We'll be able to pick up the chestnuts once they have grown. So with that, we can then actually put in another grill. I want to say right over here. And let me just high prioritize this. In the habit of high prioritizing everything. I'm actually not entirely sure. Oh, our beavers are actually putting in dynamite over here. So good for them. Not really needed right now. So I think it's okay to high prioritize them chopping down these trees. As I say that, they're all going back to bed. Fair enough. And already put in the first chestnut trees over here. And we're almost at the 2000 science that we need for the Badwater Dome. Once that is in, like I mentioned before, we're in much better situation in terms of our power supply, because this will produce a good amount of power, and again, continuously, as soon as that Badwater Dome is finished. All right, so let's see what comes next. We need... What else do we need? Let me just finish putting in these trees. Chestnut trees, here we go. I've already planted some of these. And we might remove 1 or 2 more rows over here. But then again, this guy will actually not be able to hit these based on the distance. So one thing that we're also going to do actually, I'm going to remove these berry bushes. So unlike with the iron teeth, our Folktails don't actually need berries to grow beavers, right? They figured out a less sophisticated way of creating beavers just by putting 2 beavers in a hut and then it just happens. Yep, I'm gonna go with that explanation. Just realized we had put in these houses last time, and I remember now why that was not a good idea. Because we had put in these rooftop terraces right there. The entrance to our larger story buildings actually needs to be here. Oh well, which means... No, actually this will no, this won't work out, because we need that piece right there in order to, you know, make that happen. Anyways. We could unlock the single dynamite to kind of build these houses and clean this up. But I think right now it's not the most urgent thing for us to do. So we're gonna stay the course. One thing that is kind of nice, we do have a ton of antidote now. And I'm really hoping that we don't need it. I'm not entirely sure if the antidote is only for when our beavers are contaminated, or if it will also help when our beavers are injured. That would be kind of cool, to be honest. But yeah, we'll see. So they are out of Badwater, and that will also be fixed once we have built that Badwater Dome. We still need 100 gears. We do have plenty of planks for this building to be constructed, and we haven't used any of our metal blocks, so we're very close to, you know, being there for having or being able to build it all. So as I keep talking, I'm really hoping we're getting this soon, and we are there. 2000 science. They have also built this platform in here, and they can build this dome from that platform down. So let's go into our water, put in that Badwater Dome. 2000 science unlocked, put this on the highest priority, and already set it to be open. Oh, this turned out better than I expected. Look, it's perfectly aligned with that platform. I like it. I really like it. Right. Anyways, so they should start building this as the new day comes, and they're kind of running along to get this done. Yep, here they go. So that is in a good spot. Now for our gears, what we could do is actually put in a temporary gear workshop. And I think I will do this because that will be the main goal for this episode. Just to get our Badwater Dome up and running. So more gear workshops in here. I'm gonna connect this up like that. We could also connect this through here, but I think instead I want to have the option of putting down a gear from that workshop to connect like 2 buildings. I want to say we can fit in 2 buildings here to help us sort of fill this out. What we will do though is to make it a little bit easier for them to get to the planks. We're gonna just connect that. And with that, I have just completely destroyed what I just explained I wanted to do. Excellent. But as we're not building this right now, let's leave in the road right here for now. Just to make sure, we should high prioritize these so they get built first. Because again, we kind of just need the gears for this production. This will definitely kill our plank storage in terms of how much we have left. But I think we'll be fine. Right, again, they're still happily building all of this up there. So with that, I'm considering this kind of to be done. Now, let's go back to our food supply. Like I said, we do want to expand this. And I think we actually don't need this staircase over here. So let me delete that, as well as the paths right there. As a kind of sneaky way of getting your aquatic farms in is to just put them on planks, on plateaus. So when we look into food, our aquatic farmhouse, can actually just be built right there. We could even consider having them having their own little entrance. Now let's do it like that. They actually won't be able to build underneath underneath those planks. So what we're going to do instead is put them on the other side and then kind of create a barrier up here. But so here's what I'm thinking. I want to have these staircases down so they actually go through the water, because that gives them the wet fur perk. I also want to put in a little block so we can regulate how much water is left in that area, and that water will not necessarily get pumped away from our pumps. Now maybe I shouldn't worry about this because we want to move our pumps ultimately to that large water storage that we're carving out in the back here. So, okay, I will not worry. That is my kind of decision. What I am going to do, we're losing water at the moment. We were at 400 something in the last episode. So maybe instead of the farmhouse, what we should really be focusing on is our deep water pump on this side of the dam. So let's have a quick look into landscaping. We do want to unlock the single dynamite so we can flatten this out. Just again to maximize our water storage. And then we're gonna have a look at our large water pump. It is a 3x3 building. Now I could actually just put it up here. But at the same time, it'd be kind of nice to have it more. It doesn't actually make that much of a difference, does it? So what would speak against us putting it up there? We don't have a good connection through to this side. That is something we can definitely fix though. There's no way that we can put in the platforms over our crops, no. But one thing that we can do is actually build a little bridge over there to make that connection. You know what? Let's not worry about this, because this is why that new update will be so much fun. We can actually put in our zipline station and put in one here. I don't need to figure out how to connect it up, but you know, that we'll be able to figure out. Maybe we'll even just place it like this and figure out how to get up there. Anyways, future worries. So, and once we have the zipline station there, we can put one over here, and then our beavers will be able to very quickly get from the water source to wherever they need to go. So let's do that. We're gonna put in a staircase up there, connect that all up with paths, and then again allow for that space right there for our large water pumping station. So this needs 400 science. We're at the moment a bit short, so we could actually place that right on the corner if we put in one triple. It's more than a triple platform. So why not instead say we're gonna place it with a little bit of space. So 1, 2, 3. That will allow us to put a large water tank once we unlock it right there. And then that water pumper can just put in the water right there. And I think overall that will do the trick for us. 1, 2, 3. This is how much space we want to keep. And then just put that water pump right there. And this path we're going to remove later on. Yep, I think I like that. So in the meantime, let's actually have a look how far they've gotten with this back here. So planks, gears, everything is coming in. We're at 125 gears available in total. 61 already in there, 64 already in there, 61 in storage. So that will, well, it will still take a little while for us to get there. But overall, I want to say it's not too bad. Do we need signs for anything right now? Yes, we do want to build that big water pump, although we're currently increasing, or we're kind of keeping steady with our water supply. So maybe we don't need to worry about it too much. So what I am going to do is pause the observatory, which will free up some of the power. Also going to, no, this is paused. We could pause, let's pause our smelter. What else is using power? I think that's it. Really? Supply a ton, demand not so much. I guess because everyone is sleeping right now, so this needs, let's see, needs nothing. Excellent. It's a bit annoying that it doesn't show you, if nobody's working it, how much power it actually uses. So this uses 50, this uses 120. So we're at 240, 340. Yep, and that's exactly how much we're using up. Awesome. So as they are seemingly producing enough of the gears, we don't really need to build these. So let me delete you, which I'm actually quite happy about, because one more thing that I don't need to worry. We have, however, unlocked the single dynamite places. We do have a ton more dynamite in there, which will allow us to actually make a bit more space here for the additional grill that we need once those chestnut trees have grown up and are starting to produce chestnuts. Because then we can, well, utilize these to just grill them and then, you know, have another food source for our beavers to indulge in. We have also talked about putting up a path up there basically for food storage. So I think what we said is we want to explode both of these by one. Once this is exploded, we're putting in a staircase, then we can explode or put this in, put in another staircase, and then we are up there. And that will allow us to put a ton of food storage and sort of like a common area, I want to say, up here. We'll see what we're explicitly going to do over here, but I think overall that sounds kind of nice. Alright, 7 unemployed beavers. What are we going to do with all of our unemployed beavers? Technically nothing right now, which I think is fine, because we're trying to preserve some of our power, although we do have 700 power right now. So let's turn our observatory on again. What we could also do is turn on that lumberjack right here, because again, we have plenty of beavers to do work for us. Have another look up there. 96 gears in, 52 available, so we're at 148. So overall looking good. The rest is piling up as well. So I think we're on the right track to making this a permanent power source, although this will not happen before the drought ended. Let's have a quick look. Our water storage, it is a bit low, and that was a 15-day drought, which means we really need to get to work on the explosives over here. That means we should probably put in another Badwater pump, just so we can fill up on the Badwater. Yeah, that's what we're actually gonna do right away. So this way we can store a little bit more during the regular season, which will then allow us, you know, to produce a little bit longer once it is gone. Also, we now have two buildings that are actually using up bad water, so it's worthwhile to have sort of that added. Whoa, 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 whoa. It does actually need gears and metal blocks, really. Oh yeah, because it's bad water. It's not regular water, so that makes sense. Alright. I don't want to use up the gears though. Which I think is fine. That's fair. Right. Water is already coming back in. It is already topping up our water storage right here. It can already explode these. Not that I really need to. But one thing that we can do is just make sure they're connected up. Maybe not on the highest priority, just like that. Should then also link this one up. So they start building these before they put in all the rest back there. All right. So this is filling up nicely. Very soon it will tip over and then start filling up everything down there. We do have now again plenty of power supply. Plenty of power supply. This water has all evaporated. Again, not too bad. Construction lacks material. That makes sense. I wish that would kind of collapse it a bit more. Yeah, I know it's like 45 pieces, but yeah, so what? Alright, so 100, all it's missing is the gears. We have 20 left, 146 already in there. Which means, well, we're a bit short, but we only need 30 more gears. They should be working on maximum efficiency. We have 2 of them in there. Our work days are 16 hours long, so each one of them produces 5 per day. Which means 3 extra days should actually get us to the amount of gears that we need to properly finish our bad water source up here. I'm wondering if I should just block this off, because the bad water will actually flow back there, but I don't think it's necessary. Probably gonna be a bit more like overflow. I think it's fine. It's fine. All right. So, what else do we need? We do have a ton of science now, so one thing that we can unlock, we're gonna do this right away, is our water pump. Gonna keep that on like lowest priority. They have still not put in this staircase. And I was worried that we would run out of planks. I guess we only have 2 of our gear workshops in, so there's no real need to worry about this. We have plenty of planks left, which is good for us. GC, what do you need? You do need gears and treated planks. So that is something that we also need to consider putting in. And I think right here is going to be a prime spot for treated planks. So let's have a look. Should be, yep, it's in our wood area. We do actually have bugs that we could put in to make our beavers a little bit happier. Ah. It does need gears as well. Oh, I haven't unpaused our smelter, so let's definitely do that. So the benefit of putting the deep water pump, the large water pump up here, is we can actually remove, I want to say, all of our water pumps down here and move our water storage also up there. So treated planks more important than books. Ah, that hurts to say. Alright, so like I said, treated planks more important than... It's only 400 science, but it does need gears as well. Alright, treated planks it is. Put this on, no, not the workplace priority. Our construction priority is slightly lower. Make sure that construction priority was, yep. They have put in the staircase now, so they will probably start putting this stuff in soon. And they're also almost ready with that Badwater Dome, which again was sort of the main goal of this episode, even though the next thing will be a bad tide, which means we will have continuous power supply throughout. But we can actually... Yeah, never mind. Alright. How are you beavers doing with the dynamite? So you're putting in some of these. I definitely want to make sure that I explode the ones that are further away, because they will add storage to the water that we can let out throughout the drought. While this won't be a lot, it will be a little bit, and a little bit is better than nothing. Yeah, you can quote me on that. Right. In addition, we can actually put in regular dynamite here, because I'm pretty sure... Nope, they are lacking everything. Do have 70 dynamite? Oh, look at that. They should be... They are done. Seriously? You hammered some of it and then you ran away? Now one of your mates needs to go all the way up there from all the way back in the colony just to get... There we go. Who's our hero? Zangu. Zangu, you can do it. And done. Perpetual power supply. Awesome. Alright, we're in a really good shape. 4,000 power. Let me actually have you guys work a little bit more on the dynamite up here. Once you're done with this, I'm gonna detonate these 5 as well. Again, every little bit will count, because I have a feeling it's gonna be a doozy. Why are there only floodgates in here? I am glad I looked. Alright, it does tell me some of these need to be switched out for sluices. So I don't need to manually do this anymore. I guess it should have been okay, but I don't trust it. Right? It's good to have a good amount of skepticism. Yeah, when it comes to this kind of stuff. Right. Now that this part in the back is done, we will focus a bit more on our wood workshop and our dynamite over here as well. This is not a priority anymore, because yeah, we first need to deal with first the bad tide needs to disappear before, you know, we can do anything meaningful with it. Anyways, we have achieved our goals. With a little platform, we managed to build this Badwater Dome to have continuous bad water supply and power supply for our colony. We will need to expand our power supply. I don't think we're going to do it on this side. We're probably going to start utilizing this part here, using that bad water source and the excess water that will come out here. Or like the water that's not being stored in there. We can harness both of them and, you know, make good use of that power for our beavers. All right, with that, I am going to leave you. Thank you all for joining. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, leave a like, leave a comment. Let me know what you think. If you haven't done so, consider subscribing. It helps out a ton. And I hope to see you next time. All right, bye-bye.